Okay. Welcome to Wild Wings Art Studio and Homestead. This is my husband Roland, and he's going to show you how he makes venison jerky.
Okay, we cut our venison in thin strips. It's best to have some long, grainy type meat with very little extra in there, just plain straight meat, maybe 1/4 inch thick, 1/2 inch wide, can vary, that won't really matter. And what we do is put a little mustard in here, steak sauce, oh you got kidding me. Usually about 1 cup or so, but I don't measure anymore. Just put in there some Worcestershire sauce. A little pepper. Look on the salt now.
Salt's over here.
A little bit of salt in there. Sugar.
Nope, okay, don't use that. Go in the back room. There's a whole big jars of it. This is Eli. Say hello, Eli.
In like an hour.
Okay.
We don't need a lot. Just a little salt in there. Stir that all up. Usually use Dijon mustard, but well, we're out, so we just used another kind in there. Put a thin layer of this on the bottom. It's got to be a glass pan to lay this stuff in. And we just lay it in there.
What's the temperature you set it at?
I cook it at the lowest temperature the oven will go, which is about 170 degrees. I could go lower on a warm setting, but I go with the lowest bake setting there is. And generally it takes about 4 or 5 hours in the oven. And flip it over one time once they get set up. But I'll let this sit. We spoon a little more on top in between the layers, and I'll let this sit for 2 or 3 days. 4 days won't hurt. You know, once you get this brine on here, it really doesn't, it can sit a while.
So what we'll do is we'll put this back in the cold cellar, and it'll sit up on one of our freezers with a covering over it. and it'll sit there for a couple days, like you said.
And I'll put cellophane over the top of it to keep that moisture down in there. And whatever I have left in the bowl, I'll just pour on the top of the whole works. And just let it sit. When I have the time to put her in the oven, that's what we'll do. And I always crisscross my layers. That helps to, you know, get a little, if you let it pile up on top of each other, you tend to not get so much of the sauce in between the pieces. This just helps to get the sauces in between. And it don't have to be all straight when you're putting them in here. You can curl them up if you need to or whatever. Main thing is just to get them in here and get them covered with, so they can marinate for a few days. And when you go to store them, you would like to put them in glass again as well, in a glass jar of some kind, and stood on end. And you got to kind of watch them. They'll sometimes start to sweat, so you open the jar, let a little bit of that moisture out. But they'll last a while, but well, they generally don't. They get eaten up, but they can stay in those jars for months and still be good to eat. But you want to watch them when you're cooking so that they don't, you know, dry out too much, because they will dry more once they come off out of the oven.
And you take them out of this plate, you put them on racks. They don't go in.
Oh, right, yes. When we go to cook them, we'll lay them so they don't touch each other on a metal rack. Usually put aluminum foil in the oven.
On the bottom.
On the bottom so they don't drip. Take some newspaper or something, put on the table, because this concoction is kind of, it dries and is sticky. So we'll just get these all in here and cover it up. It won't fit. And we'll just put the remainder of this on. Let them sit. Let it do its job. And I don't put them on my rack. I have a smoker in the back. I just take the racks out of my smoker and use that. I'll just put this right down in on top of it. Keeps the moisture in there. Press it down a little bit so everybody gets in the juice. And that's ready to sit for a couple days. And here's some of the jerky that's been cooked. This was a couple weeks ago we made that, but you can still see it's still flexible, but dry and tastes good.
Thanks for watching Wild Wings Arts and Homestead. Have a great night. God bless.